Okay, sorry. Sorry for any background noise. So, draft time is coming around pretty fucking soon. Excuse my language. I believe sometime in April, unless they pushed it back. But I believe sometime in April. It's going to be it's going to be draft time, unless they pushed it back because with the whole coronavirus thing, things are changing. So, we all know. Well, we're all pretty sure that the Cincinnati Bengals will go Joe Burrow number one. But the question I guess they have on the first take show is who's going to be going at number two? The Washington Redskins have the second pick. Are they going to be going Chase Young, or could they be drafting another quarterback to, I guess, create some kind of a quarterback competition in Washington? We'll see. But my thoughts are this. I thought Dwayne Haskins, given the situation that he was in, played phenomenally. I mean, you talk about an organization that's not used to winning. You're talking about an organization that has pieces but can never get the job done. And you throw a young guy in there late in the season. He didn't play all year. It's not like he played from week 1 to week 17. He played, halfway through the season? So you're talking about a guy that didn't get many reps before he was thrown into the fire, who progressively started to play better. And, who started to play better? I said progressively. I don't know why I do that. But he started to play better. And I think that Washington does have a good fit. I think they have a good fit at quarterback. I think with the league turning into a more of a mobile style, of play, one, you need a mobile quarterback that can stay healthy. This is why I don't understand why Tua is even a thing that anybody's talking about. But I think Dwayne Haskins is the quarterback. I would be really surprised if Washington went Tua at number 2, but we'll see.
But assuming the Bengals go with Burrow number 1, do you think the Redskins should go with Tua at 2, even though they have Dwayne Haskins on the roster?
No, I think it'd be a waste of a pick. I think that even if you go a quarterback, because you don't believe that Dwayne Haskins can cut it, if you go a quarterback, why not wait until the second round? Why not wait until, you use the pick, the highest pick you have, to draft the best available player that you think can help your team, and then you go a quarterback in the second round. When's the last time we seen a first round quarterback become everything that people keep talking up these first round quarterbacks to be? I really can't remember. I'm not gonna say I can't. I don't remember the last time. Aaron Rodgers, maybe. I don't want to go Luck. I don't want to go Newton, because I think that with the way their careers played out, they weren't as successful as the expectations that was put on them. Because Andrew Luck was supposed to be the guy to carry the league for the next 10 to 15 years. And Cam Newton was supposed to be the changing of the guard. He was supposed to be the guy to come in, that mobile quarterback. What Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson is right now, he was supposed to be that, but he wasn't. So I can't remember exactly. I mean, the only quarterback that I can remember that was a first round pick that completely, I don't want to even say Aaron Rodgers. This is what I'm saying. Like, these first round draft picks, quarterbacks, come in with so many expectations that they rarely live up to them. I could say that Peyton Manning was honestly the last time I've seen a first round quarterback turn into everything that people expected him to be. An all-time great. I can't remember the last time. I'm sorry. I mean, you can go Robert Griffin III. You can go Matthew Stafford. But, you're not really... they're not really great. So there's no indicator that's going to tell you that Joe Burrow is going to pan out. There's no indicator that's going to tell you Tua's going to pan out, especially with the injury. So I have a hard time thinking to myself, them drafting Tua is a smart move. The best chance that they have is to build around Haskins, build up a good enough team, and they need. Organizations don't need to stack their team full of great players, is what I'm trying to say. They need to sign the best players, trade for the best players, draft the best players to fit whatever it is they're trying to do. Look at what the Baltimore Ravens did. They didn't go crazy. They didn't lose their mind drafting all these highly touted players or signing these big time free agents. What they did was they had a vision of what they wanted their offense to be. They had a vision of what they wanted their defense to be. They picked the best players to fit that vision, and look at what they did. They went 14-2. So I don't know, man. I think they need to just chill a bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, I do, and I was a big proponent of drafting Haskins. You know,
because all of you fans are so quick to change your fucking minds, and he's gonna. And I watched a little bit of this, so he's gonna go on some little Jesus. I can't even say the damn word. I'm not even gonna try. He's gonna go on a little bit of a journey with his conversation, saying that, well, I was one of the supporters of drafting Haskins, but he didn't play well last year, so we might as well get him the fuck out of there in 1 year and bring somebody else in to fucking fill that spot. Like, this is the problem. This is why fans can't be fucking GMs. This is why fans can't be owners. This is why, because they fucking emotional, bro. When you outplay expectations, they love you. They think you're the greatest ever. Like right now, Patrick Mahomes is viewed as he's already the greatest quarterback of all time, and all this other bullshit. But when you let them down, they lose so much faith in you. Like when you let them down in their minds, you're not good enough anymore. Dwayne Haskins has been there for less than a year. I don't even think it's been a whole season yet. He's been there for less than a year, and it seems like people are already ready to get this kid the fuck out the room. But, you know.
It really was a Haskins booster last year. I loved what I saw at Ohio State. He did not play well. Look, I know he's very young. I know quarterbacks, once upon a time, it took them a while to get going.
But now quarterbacks are expected to play well their first year. If you don't play well your first year, you're running out of opportunities. Like, it seems like that. It seems like you need to be RG3. You need to hit the ground running and get your team to the playoffs. Or Andrew Luck, you need to hit the ground running and get your team to the playoffs. This is what we need. If you can't win your rookie season, you're not good enough. You hear this shit so many times. This is why fans can't be fucking GMs. This is why fans can't run teams. Because they don't understand. Sometimes you got to be patient, man. People don't understand patience anymore. Everything has to be now. Like, people don't know how to just sit back and wait.
Didn't play well this year. Yes, he played a little better as the season went on. He was not prepared properly by the franchise. But based on what I've seen from Haskins, I think he may be a successful NFL quarterback. That remains to be seen. The odds that he turns into a great NFL quarterback, if you had to handicap it right now, don't look terrific. But
I hate these analytic dudes, man. I hate these guys that try to use numbers to support their fucking argument. Well, there's a 35% chance that he could be a bust. There's a 60% chance that he could go in the first round. Bro, really? The odds of Dwayne Haskins becoming a great quarterback doesn't fucking matter. Okay? What matters is his improvement. People talk shit about Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar Jackson is good enough to be the quarterback. I don't know if he's good enough. His arm is terrible. All this, all that. And then he comes out and he destroys the fucking NFL with his running ability and his ability to find an open guy. And now people are, oh my God, he is so great. Lamar Jackson is the future. He's the future. Like, bro, you can't do that, bro. This is why fans can't run teams, because they don't fucking know anything and they fucking act like they do, man. Like, this is why I try not to go down that road of saying what a player's worth. Like, oh, I don't think he should have got this money. I don't think he should have got that money. I don't think he's worth this. I don't think he's worth that. Because what the fuck do I know, okay? I don't know. Most of the time, these fucking analysts, these commentators, and most fans, all we're doing is guessing. Okay, we're guessing. It's nothing but guesswork. We don't fucking know anything. It's guesswork. So to shit on the dude already, like look at what they said about Haskins. Haskins not good enough to play quarterback. He's not good enough. You should have went Haskins. He's not good enough. Why did you take him at 6? This is such a New York move. Really? And then his first 3 starts, this dude's fucking 4 touchdowns a game. I'm like, bro, he's shutting these motherfuckers up, bro. He's making them look stupid. And this is what you got to do.
Could he be an NFL player? Yeah, I do think so. I think he could even maybe develop into a franchise quarterback. It's possible. If Tua...
You're saying that a healthy, and I'm sorry to keep stopping, but I got to get these thoughts off my chest. You're saying that a healthy Dwayne Haskins is not good enough, or not at least on par with a rookie who has never played it down in the NFL, a rookie Tua who has, a hip injury, I believe he has? You mean to tell me that even though Haskins has NFL experience, even no matter how minimal it is, has NFL experience and is healthy, is not as good as Tua with a hip injury? Okay, that's fair.
Is healthy? I'm confident he's going to be an excellent quarterback. I'm confident about that.
They said the same thing about Jamarcus Russell. They said the same thing about Andrew Luck. They said the same thing about RG3. They said the same thing about Tebow. They said this, well, not Tebow. You know what? That's actually me fibbing a little bit there. I shouldn't have threw his name out there, even though I'm a huge supporter of Tim Tebow, and I think that he was wrongfully done. You know, I was going down the list of Heisman Trophy winners, and Tebow's name just popped into my head. Sorry. So they said the same thing about Luck. They said the same thing about RG3. They said the same thing about it was somebody. It was a Heisman winner. I don't know, but I also remember Jake Locker, Christian Ponder. They fucking, bro. These first round quarterbacks get so much love. Unless you're a Tim Tebow or a Daniel Jones, like, you don't get much love if you're those guys. But when you're a Jamarcus Russell and all these other dudes, man, you get a lot of love, man. And so if we're gonna base, I guess, raw talent, because I believe Tua has raw talent. I don't know if his talent is as refined as people pretend it is. I believe he's a great athlete. He's also has a phenomenal arm. I'm not sure about his quarterbacking ability. I mean, and we don't know how good this dude actually is, because he did play for Alabama, which is usually a stacked team every fucking year. They made AJ McCarron look great. So I don't know about that. So we got to see, man. I don't know.
I think most people are. The real question is the durability and the health. But I think once you know that about the talent, the mental makeup, all those things, ability to handle pressure, the accuracy, reading defenses, the ability to make off-schedule plays, even to use mobility in the right way, the whole thing. Once you know all that stuff about a guy, or you think you do, I think you can't pass him up if you don't know that you have a great quarterback. So
that's the thing, Max, that you're not fucking considering, is that we don't know. Nobody knows. Not even the teams drafting these players know. Because if that was the case, if there was something you look for that could tip you off to how great a player will be or how bad he will be, most of the time, teams picking players will never pick the bus first. This is why you'll see a Drew Brees go in the 3rd or 4th round. This is why you'll see a Dak Prescott slip to the 3rd round. This is why you'll see a Tom Brady go in the 6th round. This is why you'll see these players who aren't highly touted fall. Because sometimes you're going off of a college resume, which is not much to go off of, because most of the players in college don't even make it to the league. So you're playing against a lot of people who are pretty much just amateurs. Pretty much amateurs. Most of them are amateurs because they don't ever get to the pros. And you're judging that resume and determining whether or not this guy will last in a league full of men. And it's hard to judge it like that because you don't fucking know. There's not a barometer to tell you if he can handle it. Go back and look at the Brady 6 documentary, where they were recapping the Brady six, the 6 quarterbacks that was drafted before Brady, and Steve Mariucci had a line in there that is so true, that is very true, and you don't know it until you see it, which is coming from him. He said sometimes when a player gets hit, they stay down. Sometimes when a player gets hit, they get right back up and ask for more. And you never know what kind of heart a guy has until you get him out on that field. And you never know if he's ready for it until you get him onto the field. Like, this is all guesswork. And I believe Max is saying this because he needs a storyline. Most of these motherfuckers need storylines. And I think having a Tua versus a Dwayne Haskins quarterback competition is a great storyline that they would be feeding the fuck on. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, I guess.
Maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I know.
Yes, you are, Max. Yes, you are. There is no maybe.
Chase Young is an amazing talent, but I don't think that Washington knows they have an excellent franchise quarterback. And I think for that reason, you can't pass up on Tua.
Most teams, unless you have a bona fide winner, don't know if they have a guy that can get them there. This is what the Chicago Bears is fighting with right now. This is what I'm trying to think of some teams real quick. This is what Oakland should be fighting with right now if Derek Carr is really the guy. I'm pretty sure Buffalo is rattling their brain a little bit, trying to figure out if Josh Allen is the guy that's going to get them there. Teams don't know sometimes. It's fine not knowing. But if you got a good organization with great player development, great coaches that can coach these players up, you should be fine, man. There's not too much to worry about. But most of them don't know. It's not just Washington. Why is Washington getting singled out?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I've been told that the Washington Redskins are not going to touch Tua because they're going after Chase Young. That's what Daniel Snyder wants them to do, and they're not drafting a quarterback. That's what I've been told. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens. That's what I reported weeks ago. That's number one. Number two, in terms of the individual in your household, Molly, I'd like to remind that particular person that the Detroit Lions have only made the playoffs 3 times this millennium. A matter of fact, they've made the playoffs 8 times since likelihood will contaminate the quarterback because Matthew Stafford ain't that bad at the quarterback position due to talent, then bringing an additional question mark because of durability in arguably the most violent sport that we know, or at least second to the UFC and maybe boxing. This is what it is in the national football.
And teams need to be taking this into account, man, because Andrew Luck was a surprise. Nobody expected this dude outside of Andrew Luck's circle to know that this dude would retire before the season even started. But right before the season started, which put Indy in a bad spot. And I was even kind of skeptical. I was kind of confused because if you are going to retire, it's not something you just decide to do right before the season starts. It's something that you're thinking about the prior season going into the offseason, and you usually make your decision then to give the team enough time to be able to find a replacement. But, you know, he did it right before the season, which was, I guess it was fine. Nobody really made a big deal out of it. But Andrew Luck was a warning sign. Like, you know, these teams need to be taking this into consideration, man. Andrew Luck was supposed to be the next guy up. He was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to carry the league on his back for like the next 15 years. And this dude barely lasted 10. Well, I don't even know if he reached 10. He was drafted in 2012. No, man, he was like 7-8 years. Like, he's less than 10 years in. I mean, he was a really good quarterback, man, but never really broke that superstar status. And, you know, the injuries, man, it killed his career. These need to be taken into consideration. Look at Patrick Willis. Look at Chris Borland. Look at Luke Kuechly, man. These guys, these injuries are serious, man. And these dudes aren't taking it. They're just leaving. So if Tua is going to be a starting quarterback in this league, this needs to be seriously thought. Because with that hip injury, I'm not even taking this dude in the first round, to be honest. I don't know if this dude should be a first-round pick. Because you're talking about sacrificing your first chance at drafting somebody that could change your franchise for the next 10 to 15 years, and you're going to take a quarterback with hip issues? Come on, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
Football league. It's highly physical. It's very, very violent. And if durability is a question mark, you can't have a question mark at the quarterback position and bring in another question mark.
No, you can't have a question mark on durability, because the best ability is availability. And a lot of times, man, these injuries, yo, they are red flags, and you need to see that they are red flags. I don't know. I'm thinking that Tua needs to drop. Tua needs to drop significantly. I would almost be surprised if somebody takes him in the first round. But you do have desperate teams that reach. But I don't know if I'm going to reach for a guy with hip issues, especially at the quarterback position, where they're getting hit constantly. So I don't know.
At the expense of passing up a stud pass rusher, which is the second most biggest need in the National Football.
Top 5 pass rushers are far more successful than top 5 quarterbacks. I don't even have to look at the numbers. I can tell you with certainty that top 5 pass rushers are far more successful than top 5 quarterbacks.
League in this day and age, if you talk to football people, they'll sit up there and tell you what's the number one thing you're after, a quarterback. What's the number 2 thing you're after, a pass rusher. Well, Chase Young is a pass rusher. He's the elite pass rusher in this upcoming draft. You've got the chance to get him with the number 2 overall pick. Could you imagine if they pass up on him and grab Tua, and then Haskins doesn't pan out and Tua gets hurt early? That would be problematic.
And Chase Young turns into the next Von Miller or possibly Aaron Donald. Take the for sure guy. You already have a quarterback. You just need to develop him. You need to give him time to improve. You need help on that defense. What better way to start than getting you a pass rusher?
For you don't want that, especially when the last time you did it, you drafted RG3, which wasn't a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination, but his leg almost got amputated by Haloti Ngata with that hit, and he was never the same in his career again. You simply can't take that chance by passing up somebody like Chase Young.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Stephen A., as far as Chase Young is concerned. And let's not forget, I don't even understand really why we're having this conversation. If you're Daniel Snyder, and by all accounts, he was in charge of the draft last year when they decided to draft Dwayne Haskins, and they took him in the first round. And we know what happened with Jay Gruden and the staff. They didn't want Dwayne Haskins, so therefore they didn't bring him along, the nurturing, the coaching. We get all that.
I hate when coaches do that. I hate when coaches do that. They get a guy that they really don't want, and it's almost like they don't give a shit about the kid. And I think that's a huge. It does that player a huge disservice. And a lot of times, if any reports come out that a coach didn't want me or anything like that, I'm going to the coach. I'm talking to him about it. Because that is a huge thing, especially at the quarterback position. When you're talking about the coach and the quarterback almost need to be on the same page on everything to be successful. For a coach to not want me, and I don't know that, and a lot of these coaches are petty. So if I'm Dwayne Haskins, man, I don't know. I don't know if I would have stayed. I probably would have tried to force my way out. But, we'll see. And I think that if that is true, that Jay Gruden didn't want Dwayne Haskins, I think it does him a huge disservice. Because it's nothing like having somebody in your house that you don't want. And hopefully this is all speculation.
Gone. Okay, but the owner is still there. And I got to think that the owner, when he met with head coach now Ron Rivera, told...
Oh, shit. My bad. Jay Gruden is gone. So it shouldn't be a thing. But still, I mean, that even still goes for Ron Rivera, because Ron Rivera is coming in after the fact. Who knows if Dwayne Haskins is going to be a guy that Ron Rivera can use or wants? I think the quarterback coach, if you bring a coach in, hopefully they brought the coach in that could use him or finds him useful. Because if you bring in a coach that doesn't want him, man, I don't know, man. It's still a really bad situation to have. So,
hey, this is the guy that I put my word down on, that I wanted as my quarterback. This is the guy who we're going to move forward with. So why would we come back a year later and draft Tua Tagovailoa at number 2? Whatever happened in this country to drafting a guy, taking somebody who's young and developing them and nurturing.
Instant gratification, man. We live in a world now where you can get anything immediately. We live in a world right now where you don't even have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to go to the supermarket. You don't have to go to a fast food restaurant. You don't have to go anywhere. It's getting to where you don't even have to go to the movies, where you can get everything right inside your house at a drop of a hat. And it's like everything is so instant now. Now you need players that can produce now. You need players that can produce at this moment. There is no development. Fucking development. We need you to do something now. And, you know.
And seeing what you have at a certain point. Too many times in this country, we want everything to be 100% perfect right now. That's not how it is. I came up in a draft where Rich McKay, Tony Dungy, they drafted and developed their team. You're not going to find instant success, ready-made success. Sometimes you got to...
And I think a huge problem with this is with the front office of these football organizations. With these football organizations, a lot of the times the problem resides with them because they're firing these coaches after one season. After 1 season, 2 seasons, these coaches are out of there. So these coaches have an extremely short leash. And you know, it's putting a lot of pressure on the head coaches. So now they need their players to develop as fast, or they need their players to develop as quickly as they could be booted out the door if they don't win. And which puts pressure on the players. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Which puts pressure on the players. I think that's what the problem is. It's the front office putting pressure on the coaches. The coaches putting pressure on the players. And it's like, you know, we need results now. I don't know. It's just too impatient. This is why you don't see teams winning, man. You don't see them winning because it's like a rush job. You're rushing everything.
Take your time and nurture a guy and coach him up and bring him along. Too many times now, coaches, front office execs, too many people, they don't want to do their damn job and develop people and coach them up and get them to a point. We want it instant. It's not going to happen. So taking Tua at number 2, to me, this is not even a question. You have Dwayne Haskins. You take Chase Young at number 2, and now you can start to build a team. That's been the problem in Washington for way too long. They want instant success. Remember back in the day when they went out and signed Deion Sanders and all these?
They signed Albert Hainsworth to $100 million. They went out and threw $100 million to Albert Hainsworth, man, because he had a great year in Tennessee, and they gave this dude they gave him the truck. They gave him the truck. They was willing to give him everything, and this dude played them the fuck out. He was a massive disappointment. Like, Washington has had some pretty bad front office decision making. They have had some pretty bad front office, I guess, you know. Whatever, but that's about it, man. I agree with McFarland, man. I think that right now we're seeing this is just a perfect example of instant gratification for anybody that's never really seen it. This is it. And this is why New England has reigned for 20 years. Because they are patient. They are willing to take their time. They're not rushing it. You know, so hopefully Dwayne Haskins, man, if it's not in Washington, hopefully he's able to find an organization that's going to treat him with the respect and the honor and the dignity that I think that he's due. Because being a first round pick was a huge honor for anybody to be picked in the first round, because that means you were somebody's first choice. Even if you wasn't the first choice that round, you were their first pick of the night. And I think that's a huge honor. And sometimes it can be taken away from you by you being drafted out of desperation and not really. Well, no, you being drafted because, you know, they felt like they just needed to throw somebody in there. I felt like a lot of times these players are treated like inventory. And I get it, man. Most of us are inventory, man. This is what we are. This is what we are in a society. We're nothing but inventories. And a lot of times these players are inventory and they're looked at nothing but inventory. But they're still people. They're still people with fucking feelings and emotions that need to be respected, that need to be upheld, especially at the quarterback position, man, because the relationship between the coach and the quarterback is important. It's important to make that relationship work as best you can, because those are the two most important positions on a football team. And I think Dwayne Haskins, hopefully he has that in Ron Rivera. But I did hear something about G. Gruden not wanting him, not really wanting to deal, I guess, with it or whatever. And then I think I made a video about, is he a racist or something? Because I remember he had a problem with RG3 as well. And I don't know, but hopefully, if he's not able to get it in Washington, hopefully he's able to go somewhere where they respect him and they treat him with the respect that he deserves. But, we'll see. I've kind of went long on this one, but, whatever. All right.